You're listening to Oh, I Didn't Know That, the show where curiosity takes the lead. Each episode will explore something new, from unexpected discoveries to fresh ideas, from Taiwan to the rest of the world. What do you want to know? I'm your host, Amber Hatfield, and today we are going to be diving into a topic that affects millions of living beings, animals. And specifically, we will be looking at animal rights and welfare issues. We hear terms like animal rights and animal welfare all the time, but what do they actually mean? And are they the same thing? Or are they completely different? Let's break it down. Animal rights is the idea that animals have inherent rights, just like humans do. This means that they shouldn't be used for human purposes, whether it's for food, for clothing, entertainment, or experiments. On the other hand, animal welfare focuses on the humane treatment of animals while they are used for these different purposes. Welfare advocates work to ensure that animals are treated well, but don't necessarily argue against their use by humans. To help explain this difference, we will hear from Sean and Judy, the co-founders of ACT Taiwan, an animal rescue organization in Taiwan. First, they're going to describe a little bit about what their organization does.
We rescue animals, stray animals, especially when they're injured or sick. And what else?
Or in danger.
Or in danger. And we built sanctuaries in countryside. So they all get to have big space for the rest of their lives, but also we adopt them out if they are suitable for adoptions. So basically we try to transform suffering animals' fate into something beautiful.
And you missed the bit about we treat them.
Oh yeah, sorry. We take them to the vet, of course, after we rescue them. Yeah, so they get rescued, they get medical treatment, they get a beautiful place to live for the rest of their lives. Yes.
And so how did ACT get started?
Tricky one.
You should say the question.
Yeah. So ACT, basically, when we think of ACT, it's basically myself and Judy. I started rescuing animals in 1999 here in Taiwan, and we've started several charities since then. But the overall charity that we say has created all these things and what's running the sanctuaries now is ACT. So yeah, we started in 1999 because I met Jane Goodall. I was lucky enough to meet her, and she'd heard that I rescued dogs and cats by myself, and she suggested that I start a charity, an organisation. And the idea terrified me, but I had nothing else going on at the time. And so I made some posts online. Does anybody want to get involved in creating an animal rescue charity in Taiwan? And my first charity was born.
So turning to look at animal rights, animal welfare, and animal rescue, how are these three things different from each other, and how are they similar?
So a lot of the time people ask us to help an animal because they don't understand we're animal rescue. I guess you could say there's three broad fields of animal NGOs. There's animal rights, there's animal welfare, and there's animal rescue. And in some regards they overlap. Animal rescue definitely comes, a lot of it comes within animal welfare. So we're animal rescue, which means we are actually going out and rescuing dogs and cats and wild animals that desperately need help. And that's obviously a welfare thing. And we'll bring them in, treat them, and get them adopted. But then you get animal welfare. Animal welfare doesn't mean you are directly helping animals. You are trying to change the well-being of animals in whatever field that they're being used in or cared for in. Animal welfare covers animals in entertainment, making sure they're treated properly, animals in shelter, making sure they're given adequate care and attention and an opportunity to be adopted. Animal welfare could be improving the diets of dogs and cats, encouraging people not to keep them in cages and things like that. So they will change laws. And then you get animal rights. And actually, animal welfare and animal rights, they sometimes have very strong disagreements. Animal rights, that movement says we do not have the right to do some things to animals. We don't have rights to keep them as pets. We don't have rights to use them in food. Well, where they overlap is that welfare would say, we agree with you, we don't think they should be food, but we're going to improve the standards if they're going to go through that system. Animal welfare people probably aren't against dogs and cats being kept as pets, but animal rights might be. They should say the animal has a right to be themselves, and that means not as your pet, as your toy, as someone that you want in your house. They should be allowed to have a natural life. So very often we'll get people asking us to help what's actually an animal rights situation. Where we get interviewed by some newspapers and the first thing they'll say is, ACT for Animals, an animal rights group in Taiwan. It's not what we do. There's overlaps, and there's areas where we agree, and there's areas where we disagree. But we're rescue, and it's got its very defined mission in what we do.
So now that we understand the difference between animal rights and animal welfare and animal rescue, let's talk about how different countries approach both animal rights and welfare issues. In the United Kingdom, for example, the Animal Welfare Act of 2006 makes it illegal to cause any unnecessary suffering to animals and requires that pet owners meet their animals' basic needs. In the European Union, many countries have banned animal testing for cosmetics and also have strict regulations on farm animal welfare. In India, certain animals like cows have legal protection under religious and cultural laws. In the United States, animal cruelty laws vary by state, but the Federal Animal Welfare Act sets minimum standards for animals used in research, transportation, and exhibitions. And in New Zealand, the Animal Welfare Act recognises animals as sentient beings, meaning they can feel pain and emotions, which influences their legal protections. Despite these laws, however, animal exploitation still exists, from factory farming to illegal wildlife trade to illegal puppy mills. Now let's take a look at Taiwan, a country that has made very significant progress in protecting animals in recent years. In 2017, Taiwan became the first country in East Asia to ban the consumption of dog and cat meat. It also banned the euthanasia of stray animals. In Taiwan, the Animal Protection Act prohibits animal cruelty, and violators can face heavy fines and even jail time. Taiwan also has strong animal rescue organizations working to protect stray animals and also wildlife. We already spoke with Sean and Judy from ACT for Animals. One of the other organizations working with stray dogs and cats in Taiwan is called PACK Taiwan. They focus on rescuing and rehabilitating animals. And so to learn more, I spoke with Echo, the CEO of the organization PACK Taiwan, that rescue and rehome stray dogs.
So PACK Taiwan, our organization, we were founded by a group of foreigners who lives in Taiwan for a really, really long time. And they noticed that the stray animals issue, so they want to help. In the beginning, we started rescue animal in 2013. So in the beginning, we rescued all kinds of animals, include pigs, cats, raccoons, birds, dogs, all kinds of animals. But after 2017, we started to notice that all kinds of animals that need different care. So, and by the time there was a law in Taiwan, so we noticed that the stray dogs animal is really severe, and we started to focus on the stray dogs. So now in our shelter, we only have 170 dogs in our shelter and 4 pigs, because we send the other animals away to the place suitable for them. But the pigs, they're too big. Their size are too big. So we couldn't send them away. We couldn't find a suitable place for them. So we keep them until now. Yes, that is about PACK. And our mission is that those stray dogs, people want to ignore their presence in Taiwan. And people don't like stray dogs. So we call them forgotten dogs. So our mission is that we are the guardian of forgotten dogs. We provide a safe and happy environment for these dogs, and we want people to know that even they're stray dogs, they still deserve a better environment to live. So that is our mission, and we do 3 things for our stray dogs. First of all, we take care of our dogs because we rescued in 2013. So our dogs, their ages. They are aging and they're really, really old. So the first things we do is we take care of them. And the second things we do is we rehome the dogs. And the third things we do is that we share our knowledge about how we run a shelter, how we run an animal shelter, and how we take care of those dogs.
So what is the stray dog problem like in Taiwan now? And around how many dogs are there stray in the street at the moment?
According to the government, there are around 150,000 stray dogs in Taiwan. I'm not sure about the number of the cats, but the dog is like 150,000 dogs roaming on the street. And I'm not sure if the number is increase or decrease because this number is too huge.
And so how do people see stray animals in Taiwan? And have public attitudes and perceptions towards the stray animal problem changed over the years?
I think the public attitude toward the stray animals is shifted a lot for all these years. I do remember when I was a little kid, like stray dogs were everywhere and people, they were really afraid of stray dogs. But now things are different. Like not so many stray dogs on the street. When we see stray dogs, most of them, they're like in the mountains or on the riverside. There are always a bunch of stray dogs on the riverside. People started to try to interact with those stray dogs. So I do think people are not that afraid of stray dog anymore, but I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not because they're stray. And some of the stray dogs might really aggressive. Like a lot of news are saying that a lady or a person was attacked by a stray dog. We don't know why, but we know the consequences is that the person was attacked by the stray animal. It might be the person getting to the stray animal's territory or did something wrong to the stray animal. We don't know what is the reason for that. We only see the consequences. So I think education is very important. Although public attitude toward the stray animal has changed a lot, but I think we need to do more. But it's a good thing that people are not afraid of stray animals.
But what are some of the reasons why these animals end up on the streets in the first place?
So people abandon their pets for so many ridiculous reasons. Like we once took in a dog. She is a small size sausage dog. She is a sausage dog, and she was abandoned in front of our gate. When we took in the dog, she was very ill. And she was old. I think she was already 12 years old. She was really old and she's not in good health condition. And so we guess that is the reason why she was abandoned. According to my friends or my friends' friends, I heard about different abandoned story. Like the dog is too big, the size is too big, or the dog was too playful. I mean, if people want to abandon their pets, they don't need everything can be the reason.
So as Echo shared, public attitudes towards stray animals have definitely shifted over time. And while fear seems to have decreased, there's still a need for education on how to properly interact with animals. But this also leads us to another issue. What happens to these stray animals once they are off the streets, and how can they be rehabilitated? Echo told me about one particular dog who was abandoned and brought into PACK Taiwan for rehabilitation. Here is that dog's story.
There was a dog, Shen Bei. He was abandoned as well. His story is that he was abandoned on I think it's in the market or something, and he was tied up on the stairs, and there was a sign around his neck, and it says, "Please call the animal protection office for me. I was abandoned, and I am really good. I'm really nice. Please call the animal protection office for me." And that's it. So we do believe he was abandoned. And then we took him to our shelter after the evaluation because we think he has a chance to get into a new family. So we took him to our shelter. In the beginning, he was really attached to human. That's very clear. But he has the protecting issue. He will protect everything he has. Like food is one of the main reasons, I guess. I think that is the reason he got abandoned, because he will protect his food. So if you approach him and when he's eating, when you approach him, you will hurt. He will bite you really, really hard. But after our training PACK Academy system, he's no longer protecting his resource. So now we already found a forever loving home for him.
The story of Shen Bei is a really powerful example of how rehabilitation and proper training can help these animals to overcome their difficult experiences. And it also highlights something really important, that the training and care that animals receive can transform their lives, but that it takes time and dedication. Zooming out now to look at the bigger picture, while Taiwan has made strides in animal welfare, Echo shares her hopes for the future where no animals are abandoned and no animals are used for profit.
Personally, yes, I wish that one day there's no pet shop. Sell the pets. I think they're alive. Yes, they're alive just like us. And it couldn't be measured. It shouldn't be measured by price. So each life we need to respect all life. And of course, I hope one day there won't be any stray animal on the street. We have a house to stay. I hope all the stray animals, they have a house to stay too.
It's clear that Echo, like many advocates, is passionate about not only improving the lives of stray animals, but also changing the way that society views them. And what can we do? We can support organisations like PACK and ACT and help spread awareness about the importance of animal rights and animal welfare, and advocate for responsible pet ownership. Whether it's adopting from shelters or not supporting pet shops that sell animals, or simply learning how to interact with stray animals safely, we all have a part to play in improving animal welfare. Thank you for joining me today on the first episode of Oh, I Didn't Know That. And if you want to learn more about animal rights in Taiwan, be sure to check out the amazing work being done by groups like ACT and PACK. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and ask yourself, what don't I know yet? I'm Amber Hatfield, and this show is produced for Radio Taiwan International. I'll see you again on next week's episode.